who are dating after divorce, who have been in a long-term committed relationship, and now you're single and you want to get back out there, but you just don't know where to start because you've been single for like 10, 12, 13, 15, 18, 20 years, and everything has changed. So, if you don't know me by now, I'm Kia. I am a performance coach and I have been coaching since 2019, helping people, adult learners, and an online academy cross the finish line and complete their courses successfully. And what I'm doing with this is bringing that expertise and what I know from being in the dating world, because I'm out here doing it, I'm not just talking about it, and bring that all to you so that it can help your journey go smoother and you can avoid some of the mistakes that I've made and lots of my friends and people I know and the people who message me talk about as well. And so, with that, let's talk about boundaries. Let's get right into it. Oh, but before I do, I want to give a shout out to my girl, Kelly. Now, my friend Kelly is the CEO of a company called Eris Health. She is launching this organization that's creating a new mental health app that is all about making the experience a much better and easier experience to get the help that people need, right? And this app is going to completely disrupt the industry and change everything you know, okay, about seeking mental health on whatever level you're on. She is sponsoring this episode. So I want to thank her for that. And if you go to Instagram, you can follow Eris Health at Eris Health. They are just getting started. So go follow them and support, and you can follow the journey and, watch it evolve and come to life. So let's talk about boundaries because this is really important when you're out here trying to date. If this is the first episode you've seen, you have to go back and watch the other episodes because they are good ones, right? They're good ones. And we started with mindset and we moved on through, getting your outside and inside ready and the healing work that needs to be done before you're actually ready to get back out there. And let me tell you what, honey, I see a lot of unhealed, broken people out here. And if you are getting involved with these people or you're one of them, it's just not going to work out or not be a healthy relationship. And so the goal of this podcast series is to help you get into healthy relationships, right? That's what we want. That's what we need. So with that said, let's jump into it. So we all have boundaries, hopefully. If you're not good at setting boundaries, you need to start. This is what is crucial in life to keep you safe in friendships and every relationship. And depending on what kind of attachment style you have or what your wounds are from childhood, you may have had a really hard time creating and setting boundaries. I know I did. And it's been something that I've worked on my entire life to get very firm with my boundaries. And these boundaries are what keep you safe. And you're not going to be perfect at it all the time. Practice, practice, practice. Just like working out, just like yoga, you've got to practice putting those boundaries in place. And these are the things that are going to keep you emotionally safe, mentally safe, and physically safe. Okay, so let's talk about the first boundary. We talked about mindset before, but this goes along with it. You need a vision for the ideal relationship. A lot of people just don't know what they really want. Like, what do you really, really want? Right. And so, what does that look like in the partner? What does that relationship look like to you? What is it that you want in a partner and how they move throughout their daily life, what their interests are, and what is the vision for your relationship? Because are you going to be compatible? What is the kind of lifestyle that you want to be living? Will they fit into your lifestyle with kids and all of that? And also, a big thing that I think gets overlooked is really trying to figure out. I'm sorry, my phone is blowing up. I swear, every time I come live, my phone starts blowing up. Okay. So people overlook how to resolve conflict. because people resolve conflict in healthy and unhealthy ways, in all different types of ways and styles. Okay. So, what is your preferred way of resolving conflict and that of the partner that you're looking for? Right. So, these are some important details you have to have in place. And there are multiple boundaries you can put in place, but we're going to talk about three that are my top three, actually. And so this is one of them, right? Because I want to have a clear vision of how I want the relationship to go. I mean, obviously, there's going to be variables when you meet different people and there's different energies involved, but you do want to kind of be clear on what it is you're looking for, what your core values are, and what's important to you. And when things don't align in the connection, how will you resolve that? Are you willing to work through that? Right? And is the person that you are with or talking to or interested in, are they the type of person that speaks their needs? And then if they don't, how are you going to work through that when things come up? And when things do come up, how are you going to work through those problems? And are they even willing to? Right? So these are the kinds of things you want to kind of have a clear plan, just like you would in business. You want to have a clear idea of what you're looking for. Like think of it like hiring an employee. I know that sounds really cool, but it's you're bringing someone for a job. And I'm not saying go on a date and like interview people. You have to be more charming than that, right? But it is kind of in a way. You're both feeling each other out. You're interviewing each other enough, especially if you're online dating, to see if you want to get to an in-person date. And then once you're in person dating, you're still kind of feeling each other out and getting to know each other and seeing if things will work from date to date to date until you decide if you want to be committed, right? So, having that vision for what you want will help you date intentionally. And when you're dating intentionally, you don't have to waste a lot of time, especially if you put emotional boundaries in place. Now, there are so many people who get attached really quickly. If you're an anxious attachment style, and again, if you're not familiar with attachment styles, I'm not going to break it down here. I've done it on Hot Topics Live podcast with my friend Marta, and you can look for those episodes. There's playlists now. So you can look for the dating and relationships playlists. You can go in there, you can find those episodes, you can learn all about attachment styles, or you can go to the Personal Development School here on YouTube. I am not affiliated, but I have taken some of their courses. They're great. I love Thais Gibson. She does great work. She goes in depth. You can learn lots and lots and lots and lots. I mean, you get like a master's degree on that channel in relationship attachment styles. So go find out what yours is, and there's a quiz. So find out what yours is. And then you can understand, because if you're an anxious attachment style, you will tend to get attached into relationships very quickly. If you are a child, and I often talk about childhood core wounds, right? If you are a child who suffered neglect, and it might not have been neglect because your parent didn't care about you, maybe your parent worked and you had a single parent and they worked all the time to provide for you, right? Maybe both of your parents were super busy, or maybe your parents passed away and you had other caregivers who just they weren't able to give you what you needed and you felt neglected as a child. Then you can have a tendency to overattach in relationships. And one of the things that overattaching does, or attaching too quickly into a relationship, is it's a recipe for disaster. It is a recipe for heartbreak. Okay. So this is how you can keep yourself emotionally safe, by putting an emotional boundary in place. And that would look something like, if you find yourself sort of fantasizing about a future with a partner, right? And you've made it to some dates, and they're, of course, telling you all the potential things that they'd like to do with you. Yes, they'd like marriage, they'd like children, or if you're later stage dating, they could be like, I want a travel companion, I want someone to, wake up with whatever it is. And whatever that future is that they're laying out for you, you can then start to build it in your own mind and build onto it. And even if they're not telling you that stuff yet. You might just meet this new woman or this new man, and they're so like in line with what you're looking for. You start to project a potential reality for the relationship, and you're living in that reality more than you're living in the present reality. So we have to come back to the present, and we have to stay in what's actually going on, because you will hear a lot of wonderful things from both men and women at the onset of a relationship. There's chemistry, there's excitement, there's all of this energy that's juicy and wonderful. This is why I love dating, right? And there's hopefulness, and it's just such a good energy when you meet someone and there's the possibilities, right? But when you're talking to each other and you're getting to know each other, and you're feeling all of this, wow, this could be something, maybe this is my next partner, and you're getting excited, you have to remember that you just met this person. You don't know this person. They could be lying, they could be future faking. A lot of things that don't necessarily mean anything are being said right now and being felt right now. So it's really important to have this emotional boundary